Rama Rama Hare Hare. Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari
Thank you very much. Just trying to coordinate our online class with the in-person class, and I think we're not too far off. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam 4:24:76. Today is January 6, 2026. And our basic rules here are that at any time, if you have a question, you're just welcome to raise your hand and take part. And what's making the sound over there? Okay. And we'll begin. These are just ending up the chapter concerning the song sung by Lord Shiva and taught to the Prachetas, the sons of King Prachinibarhi. Yaimam Shrataya Yukto Madgitam Bhagavatstavam Adhiyano Duraradhyam Harim Aradayatyaso. Although rendering devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and worshipping Him are very difficult, if one vibrates or simply reads this stotra, prayer, composed and sung by me, he will very easily be able to invoke the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. It is especially significant that Lord Shiva is a pure devotee of Lord Vasudev. Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. Just give me one moment. Excuse me, just tell me that again.
Your connection is weak, so I stopped your video.
Oh, okay.
Being able to.
I can change my connection. Give me one moment and we'll do that. Now, yes, and password is long, T8. All lowercase, I take it. 6JC. 5. Let's see if that's it. No. Oh. It's a Z, it's not a 2. I got that. It's the Z that looked like a 2. Okay. Yeah, we're good. What happened to my Zoom connection, however? Just give me a moment. Oh.
Yeah, if we keep our video setting off as a group, that may also help.
Okay, now we should have a decent connection. Sorry for the crossover time. Okay, so yes, that would be very helpful. Thank you very much. Oh, great. Yes.
Looks better.
Looks better. Okay. Looks better, feels better, tastes better. All right. Yes. It is especially significant that Lord Shiva is a pure devotee of Lord Vasudeva, Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. Amongst all Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva is the topmost. Consequently, Lord Shiva has a sampradaya, a Vaishnava disciplic succession called the Rudra Sampradaya. At the present moment, those who belong to the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya of Vaishnavas come from Rudra, Lord Shiva. To become a devotee of Lord Krishna, Vasudeva, is very, very difficult. The word especially used in this connection is duraradhyam. The worship of the demigods is not very difficult, but becoming a devotee of Lord Vasudeva, Krishna, is not so easy. However, if one adheres to the principles and follows in the footsteps of the higher authorities, as advised by Lord Shiva, one can easily become a devotee of Lord Vasudeva. This is also confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj. Devotional service cannot be practiced by a mental speculator. Devotional service is a special attainment which can be acquired only by a person who has surrendered unto a pure devotee. As confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj, Mahiyasam Padarajo Bhishekam Niskinchananam Navrinita Yavat. unless one accepts the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee who is free from all material contamination, one cannot enter into the devotional service of the Lord. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurn Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Tadhati Shapadantikam Vandehang Shri Guru Shri Jatapada Kamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lolita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hori Priye Pancha Kolpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Ya Imam Shraddhaya Yukto Madgitam Bhagavadstavam Adiyano Dura Rajyam Harim Aradayat Yaso. The in this section, there's essentially benedictions offered by Lord Shiva for those who take seriously this prayer that he's teaching. Ya Imam Shraddhaya Yukta. One is advised to, one gets the benefit of this prayer by hearing or chanting Shraddhaya Yukta, with attention, with faith. Simply as a empty ritual, simply as a ritual, it will not be as effective, although even that, at least I have enough faith to chant it. But especially if one chants with, the more one chants with faith, the more one gets the benefit. What is that in the Bhagavad Gita? Oh, that red pouch has my Bhagavad Gita. Ashraddhaya hutam tattam tapas tattam. No, that's different. Let's see. Yeah, Ashraddhaya hutam tapas tattam. Let's see. Yeah. Ashraddhaya hutam tattam tapas tattam kritam chayat. Asadityuchate parta nachatat prechanoviha. When things are done without faith, they don't bring much of a result. That's the conclusion. Shraddhaya hutam tat. So that's the first thing. Shraddhaya yukta. If one chants with a little faith that after all this prayer has been taught by Lord Shiva, it must have value. So let us take it seriously. And by giving attention to the prayer means glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, glorifying the process of devotional service. If one hears these things attentively, one will discover within them the deep meaning, the potency of the virtue. Oh, my goodness. Low BP. Okay. I don't think that has much to do with me, but Hare Krishna. Madgitam Bhagavatavam Adiyano Durarajyam Harim Aradhyatyaso. Madgitam, this is spoken by Lord Shiva. Bhagavatavam, to glorify Bhagavan. Actually, the literature which doesn't glorify Bhagavan is useless. Any prayers, any rituals, any literature, any science, anything, any life that's not dedicated for the service of Bhagavan is missing the point. So this prayer is valuable because it's directed toward Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This book is valuable, Bhagavat Puran, because it's all glorifying the personality of Godhead. The Vyasadeva had written the Vedas, compiled the Vedas, he'd written so many Puranas, Vedanta Sutras, still he wasn't satisfied. Then he inquired from his Guru Maharaj, Narad Muni, why am I still not satisfied? Yes, you haven't glorified Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. So all of your compromising literature is just going to agitate people's minds, the way a wind rocks a boat on the ocean. And then Vyasadeva took the direction and wrote this Bhagavat Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam, in his maturity. So this Mad Gita, just as we have Bhagavad Gita spoken by Krishna, so this is a Gita spoken about Krishna by Lord Shiva. Mad Gitam Bhagavatavam Adiyano Durarajyam. If one studies this prayer, of course, chants and studies, and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has a one-line commentary on this verse, 2 lines, that in this verse he speaks of bhakti, and he says, one who studies pleases the Lord. I don't think that means just one who studies microbiology or engineering, but one who studies Shastra, one who studies this prayer by Lord Shiva, one who studies Srimad Bhagavatam, one who studies the Shastras, pleases the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita also, what is that? The 18th chapter. Adyeshate chayayimam dharmyam sangvadamavayoho Jnanaya Jnanatenaham Ishtasyamiti Me Mati. The Lord says that if someone studies Dharmyam Samvadam, this conversation that we're having about Sanatan Dharma, Jnanaya Jnanatenaham Ishtasyam, then he's doing Jnana Yagya. He's performing the sacrifice involving transcendental knowledge. And I'm attainable by him. He's worshiping, I think Srila Prabhupada's translation, he worships me by his intelligence. Jnana Yagena Tenaha Mishtasyamati Me Mati. So it's not that scholarship is bad. You shouldn't read too much. Of course, some may be more inclined toward reading, some more inclined toward other activities. But if someone studies this Bhagavad Dharma, following in the footsteps of the Acharyas, so much benefit is there. So Adhyana, Durarajyam, then he can worship Aradayati, Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who's Durarajyam, very difficult to worship. Why is he so difficult to worship? Because one has to worship by bhakti. Gyan will not be sufficient, karma will not be sufficient. And bhakti is not so easy to get. It's not so easy to get. Mahiyasam Rajapado Bhishekam. One has to get bhakti. It said bhakti arises from bhakti. Bhakti arises from bhakti. One receives the seed of bhakti from a devotee who's engaged in bhakti in that way. And it's not so easy. To find a devotee is rare. To find a karmi is no problem. World is full of karmis. Jnani is a little less abundant, but quite plentiful. But to find a pure devotee of Krishna is a rare thing. And also because our tendency is to do everything else. Those of us who've come to this material world, we've come to this material world for nonsense. And that pull of nonsense is very strong. I can still be attached to my nonsense and do karma. I can still be attached to my nonsense and do gyan. Of course, even attached to my nonsense, I can begin bhakti. But to seriously take up bhakti means, yes, serious. And not everyone is so inclined. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So Durarajya. But, or yes, our tendency is to be distracted by so many other things. That's the modern world. One poet wrote, distracted from distraction by distraction. We're distracted by from distraction by distraction. Video games, television, this, that. So it may be very difficult, but if one gets the mercy of a pure devotee, then it's possible. In one lecture in Los Angeles, Srila Prabhupada quoted Manusyanam Sahasreshu Yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattvan. To become Krishna conscious is a very rare thing. And Prabhupada said, then is our movement bogus? Because it's only supposed to be one out of thousands, and so many are joining the Krishna consciousness movement. And then Prabhupada said, no, it's the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Oh, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Krishna consciousness movement is there all over the world. And one can get the association of devotees and engage in araja, aradhana, service of the personality of Godhead. All right, any questions so far? Yes?
So I'm curious, as to that point, did Peter kind of chart that with me time and time again?
Yeah, please.
In Chaitanya Charitamrita, I believe that it also makes mention that even if you're chanting, you're in the process of bhakti, but one still remains contaminated by whether it is Vaishnava aparad or tendencies, then, a real change is not produced.
And
So in that regard,
hmm.
yeah, I was wondering, and also, you were making mention to taking shelter of a pure devotee. Um, of course, we have your association today, but let's say someone who might not have that direct opportunity and might want to engage, let's say, in worship of Lord Shiva, let's say, for that sake. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. And then also, yeah, how?
Well, we're going from question 1 to question 2 to
Yes,
question
sir.
3 within the space of one question. So the first question concerned
Vaishnava Parad.
Vaishnava, yeah, the Vaishnava Aparad, or what was that in the first canto, the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam? One whose heart is steel framed doesn't experience the ecstasy of to be had by chanting the holy name. So that tendency is there by conditioned life to have steel-framed hearts. And yes, if we create Vaishnava Parads, then the steel becomes stronger. Yes, so therefore we're meant to avoid strictly Vaishnava Parads. Yes. Don't badmouth sadhus. Then the second part of your question.
Yes. Well, I guess I'm gonna frame it a little different. So for one, so I wanted to actually get your opinion on something. I've heard oftentimes from some devotees that say, well, Srila Prabhupada presented this philosophy of not worshiping demigods, not to get people so confused, so that it's not like, well, reject Lord Shiva, but rather just know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So you might still want to have a tendency to worship Lord Shiva, but it should be to support your bhakti.
Yeah, in the Nectar of Devotion, it's also said that one should not deride the demigods. We shouldn't worship the demigods as if they were the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the same time, we don't disrespect the demigods. We're not supposed to disrespect anyone, what to speak of the demigods. One time, Srila Prabhupada went to Fiji. He was invited to Fiji by a pious family that heard he was coming to Australia, and Fiji's next door. So relationship developed. Prabhupada eventually initiated the family, and they established a nice temple there. But he saw that there, on the altar, everybody was there, as usual. So Prabhupada said it was all right. He said, but Krishna should be higher. He said, just like in your business, because he was a businessman, he said, you don't eat with all the other employees. You have a higher position. So there's no harm. All the demigods are there. Prabhupada said Krishna should be higher position. Of course, this is for someone who's already accustomed to worshiping the demigods. Then all right, keep your demigods, but keep Krishna in the higher position. Otherwise, if we're not already worshiping demigods, we don't need to start. We don't need to start. But the demigods are to be respected because they're servants of Krishna. And even one may pray to the demigods, please engage me in the service of Krishna. When Rukmini was about to be married to Shishupal, first, according to the family rituals, they went to the temple of the family's Ishtadevata, Lord Shiva and Parvati. And the Rukmini was, all the ladies were there who knew all the rituals and everything, so they're doing all the auspicious things. And Rukmini was praying that if I ever did anything to please you, if I ever did anything pious, please don't let Shishupal capture me. Let me be married to Krishna. Mm-hmm. So that kind of prayer to the demigods is very good. The gopis were also praying to Katyayani. So it looks like Karma Kandya. They're worshipping Katyayani, Durga. But their prayer was, please let us have Krishna as our husband. Not like the materialist Dhanam Dehi, Rupavati Dehi, give me all these, material benedictions. Prabhupada told the story. It's quite something, actually. Prabhupada, when the Krishna Balaram temple was established, those who've been to the Prabhupada's house, there's that Prabhupada's library attached to his room. Originally, that wasn't attached to his room. There was a wall there. And the entrance was facing the lobby of the guest house. And Prabhupada wanted to have a bank there so that the guests could avail themselves of the banking facilities. So Punjab National Bank got the concession to open a branch there. And they had a little ceremony to open the branch. Some bankers and suits came from Mathura for the program. Prabhupada cut the ribbon, and the bankers arranged to distribute some sweets, and Prabhupada opened the first account and so on. And Prabhupada was talking with the bankers, and he told the story of Dhruva Maharaj killing the Yakshas. The Yakshas were all associates of Kubera. And so one of these Yakshas had killed Dhruva Maharaj's brother. And to retaliate, Dhruva Maharaj was killing the Yakshas like anything. So then Kubera was in distress that my Yakshas are being slaughtered. So he and, was it Lord Brahma or Manu? Anyway, they came to, do you remember? Manu? Brahma, yeah. So they came and advised Dhruva that this is not very good. Just for the fault of one Yaksha, you're killing so many innocent Yakshas. This is not your duty. You should stop. So Dhruva Maharaj agreed and spared the rest of the Yakshas. And the Yaksharaj, Kubera, was pleased, and he offered him, you take some benediction, whatever you like. He's the treasurer of the demigods. So Dhruva Maharaj asked that you just please give me your blessing, that I may always be engaged in the service of Krishna. He didn't pray, give me this, give me that. Just let me be. And so Prabhupada said to the bankers, so you're all representatives of Kuvera. And Prabhupada said to them, like dead serious, so please give me your blessing that I can always be engaged in the service of Krishna. Is that okay? There's a question in the chat, but I can't see it.
Saraswati Master writes, Pranam Param Puja Gurudev and all the Vaishnavas. Is it true that to have rebelled against Krishna and go against our true nature was easier, but now to rebel against Maya in the material world to get back to our eternal position is so much harder? If
Yeah.
yes, why?
Yeah, this is it. It looks easy. Maya looks easy. She's, makes a good offer. It'll be easy. It'll be fun. It'll be pleasing. And we say, okay. But once we've taken the bait, just like a fish sees the bait. This is tasty. No strings attached. But then he bites it, and now what to do? It's hard to get free. This is the way Maya works. Therefore, Maya is to be avoided. Maya is to be avoided. But Mameva prapadyante Maya me tam taranti. Maya is very powerful, but if one surrenders to Krishna, then one can even get free from Maya. Otherwise, no. Is that okay? Anything else? Okay, how are we doing?
I have a question.
Yes?
Hare Krishna, can we talk about why Krishna means that Supreme Personality of Godhead with all opulences in full?
Why Krishna means?
Yeah, I've heard it like that. Someone told me that.
Yeah. Well, why does Krishna mean the Supreme Personality of Godhead with all opulences in full? Aishwarasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashashasriya, Jnana Vairagyayaschapi. These are the six opulences: beauty, wealth, fame, knowledge, strength, detachment. And Krishna has these in full. Why do we say that Krishna means having six opulent? Because Krishna means all attractive. That's from, what is that, Karshati? So Krishna. Krishna is attracting, pulling. Why? Someone's attracted to beauty, then Krishna is beautiful. And to be all attractive, he has to be the most beautiful. Otherwise, someone who's more beautiful won't be attracted to Krishna. They're more attractive themselves. But Krishna is more attractive than anyone else because he's the most beautiful. Someone's attracted to fame. Krishna's more famous than everyone else. Someone's attracted to wealth. Krishna owns everything. He's wealthier than anyone else. I may have some wealth, then some people are attracted to me. Oh, you're such a nice person. Can I be your friend? But when he discovers there's someone else who has more wealth, then he moves on. Next tier. But when he finally comes to the person who has more wealth than anyone, that's Krishna, so he can attract more than anyone else. Similarly, strength, beauty, fame, knowledge, everything. Because he's supreme in all of these opulences, he's the most attractive, all attractive. That's therefore Krishna means Bhagavan, uh, most attractive. Does that make sense? Something else? Okay, let's see how we're doing. We have 10 minutes left in the official class. Yeah, well, we only have,
We have something.
oh, we have something in the chat. Okay,
Yeah.
tell me what it says.
Saraswati Mataji writes, is worship of pure devotees more beneficial than worship of Krishna?
Yes, Aradhananam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadiyanam Samarpanam. This is also the advice of Lord Shiva, that of all the Aradhana, worship, Vishnu worship is the best. Aradhananam Sarvesham Vishnu and Aradhanam Param. But Tasmat Parataram, higher than that, O Devi, Tadiyanam Samarpanam. That which is related to, or those that are related to, Lord Vishnu. Just like the Tulsi is a typical example of Tadiya. The worship of Tulsi is better than worship of Krishna. Krishna becomes pleased of worshipping Tulsi. Prabhupada gave the example, or worshipping the devotee is better than worshipping Krishna. The Prabhupada gave the example that it said, love me, love my dog. Prabhupada said, you're on the street and you meet a man and you say, oh, what a nice dog you have. What kind of dog is he? Oh, he's a such and such kind of dog. The man becomes very pleased. Yes, he's a very nice dog. So maybe that's a very big, powerful man. You couldn't have met him, struck up a friendship with him by any means. But because through the dog, now the relationship is established. You love my dog, you must be a good man. So Prabhupada said the devotees are the pet dogs of Krishna. Even this Tulsi Mala Prabhupada said is our dog collar. The street dog doesn't have a collar, but the dog who has an owner has a collar. So the devotee is the pet dog of Krishna. What is that book, Bhaktivinoda Thakur? Vaishnava Thakur, Tomar Kukur. Either I'll find it or Praveen will find it. We'll see who's first. Okay. Keyboards on phones are not the best.
Purnamati Mataji writes, Krishna say tomorrow, Krishna vite paro?
No, no, that's true. But Vaishnava Thakur Tomara Kukur. Um, I think it's not included in the collection I'm looking at, unfortunately. But the meaning is, oh, Vaishnav, please accept me as your dog. Become the dog of a Vaishnav is great. If I could become, even Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, let me be the insect in the house of a Vaishnav. Yes. 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 Yes, that's what I was thinking. Like, Rolia Janahamore, yes. Please accept me as your dog. Thank you, Venkatesh.
I have a question. Nobody there.
Nobody there. I've got like 60 people here, but go ahead.
A follow-up for my question previously. I'm wondering if why the devotees in Vrindavan who don't have full awareness of Krishna's being the supreme Godhead, why are they referring to Krishna with a name that implicitly has this meaning that Krishna's supreme?
Because they're, what's the word? Krishna antipathetic. They're averse to Krishna. If I'm averse to Krishna, then I can't see. Just like, who was it? Kamsa. It's mentioned in Nectar of Devotion that he heard that Krishna had subdued the Kaliya serpent. So Krishna's, played with some water snake. This is the mentality of, Krishna creates all the universes and, material, nature on its own can do that. No God required. Anything to minimize Krishna. Then they'll say, all right, Krishna means all attractive because he's Bhagavan, all attractive. They'll say, no, Krishna means black. I mean, that's also a dictionary meaning of Krishna. So Krishna means black. He's black, that's all. What's the big thing? So the non-devotees or the materialists or those who are averse to Krishna consciousness, doesn't matter how much Krishna shows, they won't see. Avajananti mam mudha manusham tanamashvata. Param bhavam ajananta. They don't see and they don't want to see. They don't want to see. God can show any amount of opulence and they'll deny it. He's shown so many wonderful things, this material world. And they'll say, asatyam apratishtam te, jagadahuranisharam, aparaspara sambhutam, kimanyat kamoit. It's all illusion, anyway. It has no real basis. The whole universe has no controller. Get off it. Aparaspara sambhuta. It all comes just from the different forces of material nature pulling and pushing this way, that way. Kimanyat kamoita. There's no other source than just these lusty forces of nature. Because they're dull, because they want to be covered by Maya, then Krishna helps them. Apohanam cha, matasmritir gyanam, apohanam. You want to forget Krishna, Krishna will help. You want to see how Krishna is not necessary, or then you'll see that we don't need God. Nature can do everything on its own. Why are fathers needed? Mothers can give birth to children on their own. Mother Nature. Mother Nature gives birth to the children. There's so many children, living entities. Mother Nature, that's all. What do we need a father for? That means they're fools. Maya Pritagana, their knowledge has been stolen by illusion. Well, now, looking at the time, here's what happens. And in 4 minutes, this class online ends. And if we like, we can carry on, or we can do as we like. But let's see. Should we have kirtan for a few minutes? You have a question. Can you hold the question a few? Okay. Should we do kirtan for 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes, and then your question is first in line. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol.
Om Shrivad Panuman Suparipajacharya Stotra Sri Srimad Hey Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Adanta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamana Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you all very much for those online, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Let's hear your
My
question.
question is, were we born?
Hmm?
Were we born?
Were we born?
Mm, Why were we not
Why-
born?
Why were we born?
Not born.
Why were we not born?
I think she means to ask, why were we born?
Well, which is it? What would you like to know? In longer words, what's your question all about? Do you want to know why we were born? Is that your question?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's because we made a big mistake. Birth is not a lot of fun. You know, babies are born crying, and then they cry for a long time after that. And then we go through so many troubles. Then we, well, guaranteed there's a lot of troubles. And it's all unnecessary because there's no need of being born. We're eternal. For the real self, for us, there's no birth, there's no death. But we get stuck in these little bodies, and the bodies are subject to birth and death. And it all happens because we forget Krishna. That's the mistake. When we forget Krishna, we fall into the material world. And in the material world, that's what you do. You get born. And anyone who's born has to die. And anyone who dies has to be born again. And anyone who's born again has to die again. How's that?
Good.
Good. It answers the question. Huh?
Okay.
Okay. So it takes a while to get it, but your parents can explain more this and other questions.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
So, yam vapi smaran bhavam tajatyante kalevaram. So, when we leave the body, whatever the consciousness we hold, we will be getting the birth according to that. If it is happening so, then why the hell and heaven is
Then why what?
why hell and heaven came in the picture?
Why hell and heaven came into the picture?
Yes.
Heaven's in the picture from Shastra. There are people who want to go to heaven. And that's what they think of at the time of death. What is that? Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipashchita Vedavadarata partha nanyadasti. Like
Yes.
that. There's another verse I'm thinking of, but I'm not quite thinking of it. But the meaning is that we want to go to heaven.
Heaven. Okay.
Even Christians, it's not exactly that every Christian wants to go to the spiritual kingdom and serve God. They want to go to, eternal suburbia. Have a nice little house with their family all there and the dog, and just another beautiful day for eternity. That's not exactly the kingdom of God. That corresponds better to the heavenly planets described in the Bhagavatam. Because in the kingdom of God, God is the center of everything. When I'm still the center of everything, that's not the spiritual world anymore. Then it's the heavenly planets. Of course, no one wants to go to hell, but they act in such a way that they have to go there.
I didn't get my
Outlaws. What's the question?
No, Maharaj, I couldn't get the last sentence.
No one wants to go to hell, but they act in such a way that they have to go there. Everyone wants wealth. Some earn it honestly and they live in big houses, and some steal it and go to jail. That's the law. Is that okay?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. When we are doing sadhana, during sadhana stage, and every day following the routine, chanting, reading Bhagavatam, everything. And sometimes the situations in the Grihastha life, like any
Sometimes the situation, what?
Situations in the life,
Yes.
cause some loss of faith. Sometimes we'll fall down.
Yes.
So
one thing is, it's not just the situation in life causes loss of faith, because other people have the same situation and don't lose faith. We can't exactly blame everything on the environment. It's us. But go ahead.
So in that kind of situations, we'll tolerate as a Vaishnava, as a devotee, we will
tolerate and also understand something. If we're sentimental, then when things don't go our way, then we lose faith. Prabhupada gave the example that during World War II, the mothers were praying, "May my son come home." Wives were praying, "May my husband come home. May my father come." When they didn't come, then they became atheists, because their idea is that God is the person who answers my prayers. And that's a superficial understanding, that God is my order supplier. And therefore, that's called Shraddha, Kamala Shraddha. Kamala Shraddha. Pliable faith, soft faith. It's not strengthened by Shastric knowledge. Some faith is there, good. There's God, He's the Supreme Being. But then when things don't go my way, now there's no God. So that's called Kamala Shraddha. As soon as there's some adverse circumstance, and my faith isn't enough to deal with it, because it's not backed up by deeper understanding. That's the third class devotee. Second class devotee is expected to have Shastric Gyan, so that when something happens, he knows, well, what did I expect? This is the way things are. And he knows some background from Shastra that explains these things. And topmost devotee, there's no question of falling down. But second class devotee, his faith is stronger and his knowledge is stronger. Something else? Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, sometimes some new devotees, when they come to temple and they find out that Lord Shiva is considered as demigod, but they have always been a Shiva worshipper, Shivites, they get offended and don't come again.
Well, we are what we are. Where, there are societies, they're like a variety store. Everything is in stock. Whatever you want, that we're here to give it to you. We're not like that. There are many Hindu temples, whatever you want, the Murti is there. Just choose from your list. And very deliberately, because the Vaishnavas will come, they have Vishnu. So the Shivites will come, they have Shiva. The Ganesh worshippers will come, we have Ganesh, whatever you want. Or even, for everybody, you can all worship all of them, because they're all the same. So we're not like that. We're not shopkeepers, everything in stock. Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Pratyajya Mamekam Shan. That's what we do. If you want to worship Lord Shiva, that's not what we do. Not that we, to capture everyone, you're worshiping Ganesh. Oh, we're worshiping Ganesh too. No, we're worshiping Krishna because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mama Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Now, there are temples that have done some interesting experiments. They'll hold the Shivaratri program, and it's for instructing people that Lord Shiva is the servant of Krishna. You attend the Shivaratri, but it's not like the Shivaratri across the street. It's, we have our own theme. Even, I think, Phoenix, they have a little Shiv Mandir, so that the Shiv Bhaktas will come and they'll offer their pranams, and then they'll come to the main temple and they'll worship Gaurnitai, Radha Krishna. So, but Prabhupada didn't, that has to be done very carefully, if at all. Otherwise, pretty soon, we've got everything in stock and we're the shopkeepers again. It's important that we keep our focus, that we're meant for serving Krishna. But probably gave, just like I told before, that, all right, on the lower shelf you keep everyone. Because the family custom is there or faith is there. All right. Just understand that Krishna is Deva Jagatpati. He's the Deva of the Devas. The other Devas are also respectable. But the supreme Deva, even of the Devas, is Krishna. And of course, that they may not accept that either. But anyway, we're not going to change to. And if they stop coming, all right, other people will come. It's not that everyone has to come. If you want alcohol, we're not going to serve it just so that you'll come. You have some integrity. Something else?
Thank you, Maharaj.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So, what are all the instructions regarding chanting by Srila Prabhupada? Can we do a few rounds before taking shower in the morning?
What?
Can we do a few rounds before taking shower in the morning, or
That's up to you. That's up to you. Of course, chanting Hare Krishna, you don't have to take shower. You don't have to do anything. You can chant Hare Krishna in the toilet room. You can chant. There's no restriction. For chanting on the beach, you may want to be more particular, but I never heard a particular direction from Srila Prabhupada about that. So that's according to your own judgment and culture.
Thank you, Maharaj. And can we do like japa walk? Because instead of just
I
sit,
can't hear you.
can we do japa walk? Like, can we do
Can you do
chanting?
japa what?
Walk.
Walk. Can you walk and chant? Prabhupada did. Generally, there's a recommendation. You sit, you chant, but maybe we're not quite, what's the word, accustomed to that, or we don't have the, our bones don't work so well or whatever, or what our concentration may. But in any case, Prabhupada, we saw he sometimes chanted and walked. So if he could do it, you can also do it.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So often in mathematics, we accept like axioms or some assumptions to prove certain things. So I find that faith is something similar to an axiom in math, where we accept that we have to first be faithful, and then the spiritual understanding can grow. But sometimes we can assume certain things which are not right, and basically our assumptions are not right, and it might lead to our spiritual degradation instead of a progress. So can you put some light on this?
That faith, we have to start with axiomatic faith, but sometimes our assumptions are not right. It's not that everything just has to be first accepted on faith and then we'll get it. But our process is to approach authority. That's our process of getting knowledge. There's another process where you just try to figure everything out by intellect, by logic, and so on. But our process is to understand from authority. So for that, one has to have some initial faith that the authority is not going to mislead me. Not that I have to have faith in everything, but if I led to the right authority, so authority, axiomatically, Vedas are authority. Bhagavad Gita is authority. Srimad Bhagavatam is authority. If we start with that much, or even Prabhupada offers in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita, that when reading Bhagavad Gita, we should at least theoretically accept that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Provisional, you can say, provisional faith. All right, let me go with this and see where it goes. See where it goes. A little faith. Sometimes Prabhupada translated in one lecture in Toronto. Prabhupada gave a lecture on Ashwadhana Purusha Dharmasyasya Parantapa. Those who have no faith, O Arjun, don't attain me. Mrityu Samsara Varmini, they continue on the path of birth and death. In that lecture, Prabhupada translated faith as interest. We have no interest. Faith, at least this much faith, that let me go and hear what they have to say. It may be worth my while. That much faith at least. All right, I may not go that, yes, I should surrender my whole life to Krishna, but at least let me go. There may be something worthwhile there, let me. Or Jagadish meets someone on the street and tells him this book is good, and the person thinks, all right, let me take a look, and then gives a few dollars and takes the book. So now he started with a little faith. All right, at least I have enough faith that I'll give a few dollars and take the book. Now, because he's invested that much, he's eligible for making further progress. Even Vaisheshika Prabhu tells them, that give a contribution, it will help you understand the book. And it's true. Now they had enough faith to give a few dollars, so we can build on that faith. Now read it. All right, I bought it. Let me read it. So a little faith. No one, generally, we don't start. It's suspicious if someone starts with 100% faith, and we wonder, is this for real? You know, how long? Of course, from previous lifetimes, people may have great faith. But sometimes, faith is big in the beginning and disappears after the first 3 days. But if either way, it may be considerable faith or it may be just a slender faith. But if one starts with at least a little slender faith, then all right, let's see where this goes. Those who are, and mathematicians. All right, so we have a mathematician who's written a book, our Sadaputa Prabhu. So if you have some interest in mathematics and you have some faith that after all, this man earned his PhD from Cornell, and I see in the back he has all these proofs and theorems. So let me, all right, sounds good. Little faith. And then you'll get more. You accept, all right, that made sense. In our ordinary affairs, we do that. We invest, we have a little faith. We invest a little bit, then we say, all right, that was pretty good. Go further on that line. Little interest, little faith. And the business of the devotees is to help people increase that faith. Give them the message of Krishna, give them the holy name. Give them reasonable understanding. It's not blind faith. It's not just believe. No, it's logic. What is that? Brahma Sutra Padaischaiva Hetumadbir Vinishchitai. In the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says these things are explained with logic. Rishibir Bahuda Gitam Chandobir Vividai Pratak Brahma Sutra Padaischaiva Hetumadbir Vinishchitai. Arjuna asked Krishna about the field and the knower of the field, the body and the knower of the body. And even Krishna said, I'll speak about this by referring to authority. Rishibir Bahuda Gitam Chandobir Vividai Pratak. This has been discussed by many rishis and in many Vedic mantras. Brahma Sutra Padaischaiva, and in the sutras of the Vedanta, Hetumadbir Vinishchitai, with due consideration of cause and effect. It's not that we're unphilosophical, that it's all sentiment. Yatshradhana Purusha. What is that? I'm mixing verses again. Bhaktya Shruta Grihita Tachstradhana Munio Gyana Vairagya Yuktya Pashyanti Atmani Chatmanam Bhaktya Shruta Grihita in the first canto, in the beginning, that bhakti is upheld by Gyana and Vairagya. So what is that? Bhaktya Shruta Grihita. Bhakti is strengthened by hearing from the Shastras, which means, and the Shastras are not just saying, believe this, believe that. Krishna is giving arguments to Arjuna, why you should accept that there's more than one life, why you should accept that there's more, that the spirit soul is different from the body. He's not just saying it, but he's giving reasonable arguments. Is that okay?
That's good, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. You have a question? Okay, we'll see if we have any answers.
My question is, can you can you like whisper and chant when you chant? Like,
You like to whisper and chant.
yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If you want to whisper, that's the best thing to whisper. As long as you can hear it, that's good enough. You can sing it, you can whisper it. Shall we stop here? What shall we do? Yes, okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, when it comes to deity worship, how do we develop attachment for deities?
How do you develop attachment for the deities? By following the regulative principles. In the beginning, there may not be much attachment. Especially the Westerners. What are these dolls? But even sometimes the Indians are thinking, otherwise, or they just don't have much interest. They have other idols. Amitabh Bachchan. But although we may not start with much attachment and appreciation, but the sadhana process is the process that awakens attachment, attraction. In the beginning, it's pretty dull. We don't have much capital. But this increases our spiritual capital. Rise early in the morning, chant Hare Krishna. Go to the temple, see the deity. Offer obeisances to the deity. Offer a flower to the deity. In the beginning, it's just, all right, Shastra's saying I can do this. I should do this. Let me do it. Then by doing it, he develops enthusiasm. Oh, this is very nice. I get to offer a flower to Krishna. Why one? Let me bring 5.
Thank you.
Thank you. My guess is there's probably a summary now.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for your wonderful class. I'd also like to thank Satyasara Prabhuji and Jayadvaita Mataji for the opportunity and all devotees here joining us today. Maharaj, a quick summary of your class. So you said that Lord Shiva is a pure devotee of Lord Vasudeva, as it's mentioned in the Rudra Sampradaya. And worshipping any demigod is easy, but worshipping Vasudeva Shri Krishna as a devotee is very difficult. And if we follow Lord Shiva's guidance and footsteps, one can become a devotee of Lord Shri Krishna with full 6 opulences. Getting guided by a pure devotee who is surrendering to Lord Shri Krishna is the way to become a devotee. And when things aren't done without faith, there isn't much of a result. So we should always chant with faith. And anything without Bhagavan Shri Krishna in thought is useless and missing point. So we should always keep in mind to glorify Bhagavan in anything we do. Gyan and karma aren't sufficient to worship, and one has to get bhakti from a pure devotee. And by mercy of Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there are many pure devotees all over the world. And we're very fortunate to have association of you today too, Maharaj.
I didn't say that.
What you said in my words. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hari Bol.
Maharaj, on behalf of all the devotees and Hare Krishna temple, we sincerely thank you very much for coming and giving us your holy association. Last 6 days have been wonderful. We don't know what we are going to do tomorrow morning and evening without your classes.
Same thing.
Yes, we will attend your online classes, Maharaj. Thank you for that. And you so nicely, you gave us a significance of Bhagavad Gita, so many verses of Bhagavatam, even Chaitanya Charitamrita we got to hear from you. We're so grateful. And our new year began with your classes, and I think almost 10 classes we had, Maharaj, with you. We're so grateful to you. And best of all, we learned the Kirtan standards. You gave us your book. You have given us the guidance of what we have to follow now and in future, for the future generation as well. And not just as a theory, you also practically showed us with many examples of how we should follow the Kirtan standards. It's going to remain there with us forever. We're really grateful, Maharaj. Let us chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra one time for Maharaj's well-being. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all the hosts for having the home programs. Because of temple construction, we could not have temple programs, but all of you so kindly arranged and had organized everything so well and made such a delicious prasadam. So grateful to all the hosts and to all the devotees for coming for every program. We were literally houseful for all the programs. So grateful to all of you. With that, let's give a big round of applause to Maharaj. Thank you very much, devotees. On behalf of Nitesh Prabhu and Shweta Mataji, thank you all for coming. We have prasadam now. With that, we conclude today's program. Hare Krishna. His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki
Jai.